always something going on behind the scenes.
And I'm like, wait, what?
And I'm like, this is our first day. All right. Today, we are talking about some questions that I put up on the Twitter and all the socials, the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, yada, yada, yada. We're drinking our signature margarita. Cheers. Ding. I almost took my tooth out that time.
we don't have record of me almost taking my tooth out.
It never happened. And before we get into this episode, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. Whether you like us or not, the views are going up.
And that is the last reference we're going to make to your fucking nonsense.
And that is that.
Bye.
I feel like I say that all the time now.
I say it all the time. Do people say it back to you when you're saying it?
They laugh at me.
No. Kyle, my mom, Ashley, they all say it back to me.
I love that.
Bye.
All right, so the first question, let me go to my screenshots. Because this is a question that Siobhan and I were actually talking about at the lounge. But just in general, men seem to ask, or just even with like talking to your girlfriends, would you ever date somebody that is making less money than you, or whatever people want to say, like not in the same status as you, or blah, 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 blah. My answer to that has always been yes, but my question is, can the man handle that? Because I think that women take on a lot of shit that we don't necessarily want to because we want to be with somebody or blah, blah, blah. But I think every man can't handle the woman being the breadwinner.
Yeah. I think he has to be okay with it, because clearly you are. Let's use that as an example. You are the major breadwinner. He's not. He has to be okay with that. And there has to be at some point some communication where like, this is not, even if you don't show dollar figures like this is what I make, this is what you make, you could tell by like your daily lifestyle and what your disposable income goes towards if you're making like equal amounts of money. Right. So he totally has to be okay with that, because he has to be secure enough. And if he's not, then that unfortunately maybe not the relationship for you, or y'all have to talk about it. You're not going to ask for a pay cut. So like, a discussion has to happen.
Sorry. Like,
I'm sorry. I'm successful.
Right. I don't know what to say.
So
some of the, let me see.
You had some pretty good
We have responses for that. Trish, who I love. I think it's hard for a real man, but the bums love it. And then he has to be very secure. He has to be very secure in what he brings to the table, and all communication is key. And this is another question. And then what did the Twitter I don't think the Twitterverse didn't really respond to that. So I don't even think I put that question on Facebook, but I was like, I knew that wasn't going to get a lot of responses, because what we want is responses from the men, and the men are not responding.
They're not responding
because it's like, well, no, I don't care, but you show that you care. It makes you feel less than or whatever. And even if you don't say it or you don't, it shows in people's actions. If you're uncomfortable that your girl is the breadwinner.
Yes. Again, I think he has to be secure, because let's say he goes around his boys and they know that he makes X amount, but his girl makes more. Sometimes it's like, clear as day.
And like, then your friends be the first ones to throw you under the bus. They might be like, fuck out of here, don't make me call you girl. It's like, now it's just being that was a joke. Now this is disrespectful.
Whose debit card is that? Your girl's.
Well, what Drake say when he was talking about Meek and Nicki? Is that your world tour or your girls tour? Y'all be getting it from your own friends. Like, it's not us. It be your own people.
Well, there was an episode of Martin where he found out that he was making less than Gina, and he had a whole fit about that, where he was making more per hour because of the less hours that he was making, but she was making more yearly salary than
she was a salary. Yeah.
So if he's insecure, we're just going to use Martin as an example in that character. If he's insecure, you making more money than him,
I don't know what to say. Like,
but is she flaunting
not a me problem. That's a you problem.
Is she flaunting it? Is she like?
Right. And
let's say the first argument you get into, is she gonna be like, "You broke ass"?
Right. Exactly. Because then you can't. And that's where I'm like, no, I would never. If you feel any kind of way about me being the breadwinner, that's something that you made up. Because I'm not going to be the person that says, well, I paid for this, well, I paid for that. I'm not going to do that and throw it back in your face. That's just not who I am. I'm not going to do that.
And if you know he's insecure about it, that's a low blow.
Right. Like, it's supposed to be, again, this is where it's a partnership.
Right.
Because just because I'm the breadwinner doesn't mean I want to be the one that wears the pants in the relationship. I still want to be soft. I still want to be taken care of in other ways that don't involve finances. I just make more money on the books, but I'm still a woman and very much a girl and want to be soft and want to be taken care of, like money aside.
Yeah. And if money makes you uncomfortable, if talking about money makes you uncomfortable, if finances make you uncomfortable, that leads to those like tensions between you.
Now there's all these underlying like issues.
There's all these issues, which leads to that other question that you had about what you bring to the table besides money. And I feel like you had some very interesting.
Yeah, we'll start with the bullshit answer and then we can work our way down.
Because it could go both ways. What are you bringing to? What's the girl bringing to the table besides money? What's the guy bringing to the table besides money? Because I'll see all these like little TikToks and reels and memes or whatever about like. On a first date, the girl saying like, if this goes well, you're going to pay for my rent, my this, my that. And he's like, what?
Bitch, what?
We ain't even get to the restaurant yet. You tell me what
I
do?
You.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know you have to tell people what you want because they're not mind readers. But there's a time and a place for everything. Right. Second date, first date is absolutely not it. And I think there's a way to tell people what you want without saying, you got to do this and this and this. So for me, my thing is these are the things that I need. Can you meet those things or no?
Here are my expectations for this.
Right. That's just what it is. It's not like, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. No. Whoever comes into my life, it has to do those things because that's what I need. So it goes really back to you. Like, what is it? Do you know yourself? Are you secure in yourself? Do you know what you want? And
it's the same with like, I'm expecting a relationship out of this, or I'm expecting just for a one night stand or like somebody to call when I'm bored. Right. So the same with money.
You want a relationship or you want a sneaky link? What you want to do? So the second question was, without mentioning money, what do you bring to a relationship? The first answer was big dick energy. And my reply was,
that shit, look at Kim
I got toys Pete. For that.
It don't matter. Right. Because once she got it, she was like, that's not enough.
Got it. Check. Next.
Bye.
Bye.
No.
Bye.
Next.
So yeah, that was his first. Let me see. So I was like, I'm not entertaining this nonsense. I said, I got toys for that. Anything else? Like,
next.
Anyways. Somebody on on Twitter put I bring foundation, meaning our lives will forever be stable. And I'm like, okay, but I need I need deeper than that. But okay.
Was that a guy or a girl?
It was a guy.
Okay.
It was a guy. And then another guy said, I bring peace, security, laughter, and orgasms. That's for that answer. This was my favorite answer. Tacos, emotional security, stability, coffee, and she can learn things and stuff. I was like, that's a great answer.
Tacos and coffee.
It's like tacos and coffee? Have you been watching?
Sold.
Do you know what we like?
Tacos aren't just for Tuesday.
Right. I'm like, tacos and coffee. And I was like, and I like to learn. So anytime I meet somebody new or whatever, and they teach me something new, I'm like, oh, teach me more.
What's the answer again? Because once you said tacos, I was thinking about dinner.
Yep. So tacos, emotional security, stability, coffee, and she can learn things from him.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe he has a trade and I like to watch Roy work because he be in his element and I'm like, ooh, what you doing? What does that button do? And I know I'm super fucking annoying, but I like learning from him because he does something that I have no idea where to even begin. Yeah. And then he don't be wanting to teach me because he said, well, what you gonna need me for?
I can't tell you all my secrets.
He won't tell me all his secrets. Somebody said this ass. But then said no. But for I provide a safe space. And I'm like, I think that's important because especially now with social media and people texting and people exposing people's text messages and stuff like that, I think everybody has their guard up. When you meet somebody, I couldn't imagine meeting somebody new and texting them and talking back and forth, and the next thing you know, they get mad at you, and now your text messages are exposed.
I can't imagine having some old text messages or conversations exposed. Not because you're a bad person, but because of the vulnerability that you allowed yourself to have with that person, and now they're just putting out for everybody to see.
That's why I don't send nudes.
That's fucked up. That's karma, though.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get yours. You're going to get yours for sure.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Someone said that they bring safety, adoration, joy, laughter, love, and a dash of anxiety.
I like the adoration. I've never thought about that.
I was like, okay, all right. I was like, I'm here for the dash of anxiety. Got to keep you on your toes.
Wait, what?
Like, what happened?
You still love me? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody said, have you met me? Laugh out loud, JK. I am supportive, a loyal partner who makes sure we are thriving.
That was me, okay?
And it's the
have you met
we are thriving. Now I'm thriving and you're just going to sit there and do whatever. You are a
partnership. Like, unless you are just the booty call, the sneaky link, the person you call at 5 a.m. or whatever time you call.
Whatever time.
You are a partnership. Mm-hmm. If you want this person in your life, you have to also, both of you are bringing something to the table. Hopefully you're both bringing different things to the table, because you have to kind of like balance each other out. Mm-hmm. One person's sad, one person's happy. You help each other. That emotional stability that other person said, that's huge.
That's a huge deal.
Because you want the other person to empathize with whatever you're feeling, but you also don't both need to be down in the dumps. Somebody needs to, all right,
somebody has to be the pick me up. Right? Like, okay, we can allow ourselves to be in our feelings for this amount of time.
Right.
Okay, what are we going to do about it?
Next. Yes.
Like, we don't have time to waste. Yeah. What are we going to do about it?
No, we don't. It's about to be October.
Like,
if it's not already when this airs.
Right.
We have 3 months left in 2022.
End of the year. And I still feel like I'm stuck in 2020.
I don't know what year it is sometimes.
I'm like, 2021 happened? Like, I still feel like sometimes I'm stuck in 2020. What was the other? I thought there was another answer that I wanted to read. No, I think that was it.
So what do you bring to the table besides money? Right? Mm-hmm. That's the question. And what attracts you to the other person? It can't all be about looks and sex.
It can't be. Looks are going to fade. That ass is going to sag. The boobs aren't going to be as perky as they used to be. What will you have left?
Yeah.
Like, even if you're dating somebody with money, okay, he has all the money in the world. He takes me on all the flyest trips, but there's no emotional connection. Mm-hmm. So now you're not feeding me emotionally. You're not teaching me anything new. We're not doing all the small little things. Like, money is not always the most important thing. Mm-mm. Because with somebody that brings a large amount of money to the table, that person's probably really fucking busy too.
Right.
That person's probably not going to be able to sit on the couch with you for 3 hours and binge watch a TV show. Yeah. Like, those little things that you like in a relationship, if you want that and you're dating with somebody that's really busy or that has a lot of money, you're probably not gonna, you can't have both. It's really, really hard. Unless you have somebody that has a business that's running itself and they're like, okay, there's processes in place, so yeah, we can go on vacation, we can chill on this Sunday. But if you're the one man show or the one woman show, it's kind of hard to do both. I'm needy. I need attention. I already know that.
When I'm needy, I'm needy.
Right.
When he's needy, he's needy. You have to be able to feed that. And I'd be like, fuck, bullshit. You go again. Right?
This is not on my schedule for today. I have shit to do.
I'm almost done, Dahmer. I need a minute. Wait, 20 more minutes.
One more episode.
But that's absolutely...
Like, I am the table. What does that mean?
No. So I can eat off of you.
Right. You bring the table and I got to put the plates in the food? What happened?
I don't want to be the table. Means. You gotta be all that other stuff. You have to. And
is the table from IKEA or Raymour and Flanagan? I have questions.
Yeah, because IKEA.
I love this table from IKEA. I love this table.
But we have best friends and we have partners. We have a relationship. But your partner should 100% in all actuality be your best friend.
Absolutely.
Because all that pillow talk, all that confiding in them, that's priceless in a sense where that's the person you're spending your most time with. That person's supposed to be the one that knows you the most, right, that gets you, that understands you 100%. That should be your best friend. Yes, we have best friends. Yes, we have close friends. We have acquaintances.
But your partner that you're living with, especially if you're living together,
right?
And you don't know them in a bad mood, like you can't read the room. Like Roy can call me, and the way I answer the phone, he's like, "What's wrong?" He could just tell by the way I answer the phone. I don't even have to speak, and he's like, "Ooh." Like he's like, I feel it. I hear your brain. Like it's so. Yesterday, the creepiest fucking thing happened. I thought that.
Wait. We have sounds.
Oh, we have sounds. So I was
turn off.
Oh, yeah, it does. So I came home yesterday, and I hear the door unlock. So I was like, oh. Normally, if Bella hears me, like she goes crazy, he'll unlock the door. He unlocked the door, and I heard it, and I came in, he was like, did you just... Like, he didn't know I was coming, but something told him to unlock the door, and I just so happened to be 5 feet away from the door, and I was like, that's fucking creepy. Like, we be communicating without words. But that's what happens when when you're in tune and you spend that much time together. Like, yeah, do I get home around the same time every day? Sure, but sometimes I'm later, sometimes I'm earlier. Yesterday, I actually got home earlier, so there was no reason for him... He thought he was unlocking the door early because I normally get home later. Nope, you were unlocking it right on time because I was 5 feet away. And we were just like, that's fucking creepy. Yeah. Get out of my head.
I have a pliable example similar to that. So I'm sitting on the couch and I'm thinking about dessert. I haven't told him anything that this is what I'm thinking about because we just ate, I don't know, like 2 seconds ago. So I'm already like, what's dessert? And he walks away. He comes back. He goes, I don't want a pliable. And I'm like, what? He's like, were you thinking pliables? I'm like, yes. I'm literally placing my order, but I knew not to give him one. I knew not to give him one. I was getting myself one. What?
You just can't explain it.
Listen, unless you're in a relationship where you understand those things, right, like you probably thought that was stupid. We know what we're talking
we know. Yeah. Like, we don't even have a full conversation. It's just like, but we're like talking with our eyes. Like, we're not even using words. We're just, you know what the fuck I mean. Yep.
He'll come up, he'll be like, were you just thinking? I 100% was just thinking that. Or, are you okay? I'm like, nope, because I got off the phone and that was fucking weird. You know.
Those connections be connecting.
They really do. With the right person.
With the right person, absolutely. I don't know if I had to answer that question, because I'm like, I didn't even answer the question for myself. I don't know, I bring a whole lot of crazy. But I feel like I provide a safe space because I know that that's what I need.
But it's not crazy to the right person.
Right, exactly. You'll never be too much for the right person. Right. I know that I need to feel completely comfortable in order to let my guard down. I'm guarded all the time. I don't trust nobody. Stranger danger. Who the fuck sent you? Send you back. Like, what do you want from my life? Stranger danger. Trust no one.
Have you seen some of these documentaries on Netflix?
Like,
no.
You single, stay single. It's crazy out here. In order for me to be vulnerable with somebody, they need to make me feel comfortable and safe. So I try to make people feel comfortable and safe and just say, like, we could talk about anything. And I'm never going to be the person that says, well, that's why the fuck that happened to you. Like, I don't throw stuff back in your face. Like, no, I'm going to take it in. Do you want my advice? Do you want to know what I would do? Or do you want me to just listen? I don't know.
And I feel like I used to be that person. I felt like I used to have a lot more negative energy around me. So I was feeding off of that and giving it off. But now at least I don't think anyone could tell me that I'm wrong if you feel this way, but I don't think I'm giving that off. So I give off what I'm getting. I'm getting nothing but positive energy all the time. So when I do feel that negative, it's like,
it bothers.
That shit is bothering. It's like draining.
Nagging.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I can't
do that. It's a nagging feeling. It's like, I can't be around this. Like, I'm on, like, I got high vibrations going on, and now there's this like doom and gloom. Get away from me. Do you know how long it took me to get to this space?
Years.
Like, do you know how long I've been working on this?
Years.
Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Do that now.
I could only do positivity. What was the other question? Which one did we talk about already? We did the
Can you get along
money.
with? Oh, have we done that? Can you get along?
Oh, did we just skip over that one?
I think
was the
we
main
did.
one.
That was. Can you get along with?
Oh, because we started with the financially stable one. That's why. What is the question? Boom! I just had it. So the question was, can you stay with someone or marry into a family that doesn't like you? And I should add, that doesn't like you and or disrespects you, because that was a couple people that said, oh, it doesn't matter if they don't like me as long as they respect me.
Right.
Which I think is really hard for people. I could not like you. That doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect you. Right. I'm an adult. I know how to be cordial.
Yep.
I've been in a room with people that I can't stand, and I know they can't stand me. I'm still going to speak because, again, I'm an adult and I know how to be cordial. Hello. Keep it pushing. If I'm feeling petty, I might not speak to you, but I can still be in the same room with you. It doesn't bother me. That one, I was like, that one was a spicy topic. So I'll let you answer while I look up the answers to that.
So I've only had 2 serious relationships where like you meet the family and, you know, years or whatever together. I've never been in a situation where the family didn't like me. And it doesn't seem to have been the other way around either, where my family didn't like my partner. But I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to answer that because I want to say no. I'm not going to be in a relationship if I can't get along with your family, because it makes things so much easier when everyone gets along. And I don't mean this like happy-go-lucky kumbaya bullshit. I mean, if you can be cordial and if you have to make play dates and birthday parties and vacations and like the sad parts, the funerals and divorces and all that stuff, if you can all be there for the family, it's just easier when everyone is adult and respectful and cordial.
Because even if we don't love each other and we're not spending all this time together, let's have enough respect for each other that we're not going to be that way.
We're not going to fuck on site. Right. When I see you, it's on site. No.
I mean, it always can be.
It can be, but let's try not to go there.
Let's grow the fuck up.
So I guess I've never had an on-site situation with a family member.
I say I have two answers. I say yes and no. If I'm deciding to marry into a family and the family doesn't like me, it's gonna be hard for me. I'm a likable fucking person. It's gonna like, hello, what do you mean you don't like me?
Everybody likes me.
Everybody likes me. I think that if I wanted to have children with someone, I would not get married to somebody that their family didn't like me, because that would be really fucking hard. Because I want a family. I want the cousins to come over. I want the whole shebang. My family was so spread out that we didn't have that. So if I ever decide that that's what I want the whole. I want the Lifetime movies, Hallmark Channel played out. Like I want
the long chaos with everybody at it for Christmas.
I want all the family chaos. Like I want that. That's impossible to do when you have a cousin that's over here is doing this, or a brother or a sister or whatever, or the parents themselves that don't get along. And we're not saying like families. Like if my family and his family don't get along, that's a whole nother topic. I'm just saying like you go over to Kyle's house and his mom is like, what the fuck you keep bringing this bitch over here? Like, you wouldn't. I'm not going around that. I wouldn't want to go around that. Nor would I bring my spouse around that. Right. Because I'm like, there's people that I know my mom don't like her, I know my dad don't like her or him, and then they bring them around. Well, now everybody's fucking uncomfortable. It's just weird. I don't like it. In my very first relationship, everyone loved me, obviously, except for one. He had one sister that couldn't stand me. Never knew why. Never gave her a reason not to. Just, I don't know. They were really close, and then I came into the picture, and then it seemed like a weird ancestral jealousy thing. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
That's flowers in the attic weirdness.
Flowers in the attic. Look it up. But yeah, again, and I think to this day, because I saw her a couple years ago on the train. And don't ask me why I was on the train. Y'all know I don't do the train. I was on the train. So you remember this? I remember. Oh, you know what? I think I was going down to Penn to like do a shift or something. I was like, I'm not driving. So I hopped on Fern Rock Station. But we were coming back, and I saw her, and I saw her and like got excited to see her because it was like, oh shit, I haven't seen her in so long, right? And it was just like, oh my god, and then I was like, oh yeah, she didn't like me. But I like stared her down.
Did you know that during the relationship, or you found out later?
I knew during the relationship because he would say little things like, oh yeah, my sister X, Y, and Z, but it was I guess I didn't realize like that she really truly didn't like me until after. Which probably made the relationship easier because I didn't have to deal with it. Then it was after, and I was like, well, bitch, I didn't do nothing to you.
And then you think, did you think
then it pissed me off. It's like, well, if you...
And I never noticed. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, no, tell me right now if you don't like me. Don't let me find out years later, because now I'm all buddy with you and thinking things are cool, and you're like, I can't stand this hoe.
Bitch.
So I stared her down like, let me see if she's going to... And she saw me.
Did you say hi?
She didn't. She looked at me and she looked the other way. I was like,
you saw
are you
me.
serious?
We made eye contact. I don't look that different.
I was like, oh, she knew it was me. Because she looked and looked the other way. Oh, well, fuck you too then. Look, I didn't do anything to you. And you and your brother and I are no longer together. So I have no idea what your beef is now. I don't know. Maybe because I broke his heart. I don't know.
Shit happens.
Maybe he should never cheated. I don't know.
I mean, you know.
And then with my second serious relationship, they all loved me. And we all, I mean, to this day, if I text somebody or there's something on social media, like we all still, there's no bad blood. Everybody is like, okay, his family was super respectful. They mind their business. My family minds their business. And it's just like, wish everybody the best. Like super cordial. They could all fucking hate me for all I know. They never treated me that way, and it never got brought back to me in that light. In my current relationship, his parents loved me.
That's good.
And then haters gonna hate. That's what it is. But that again doesn't really it's like you're not in my world, so it doesn't really
You're not in my daily life.
Right, you're not in my daily life, you're not in my world, so that doesn't really affect me. But it is something that I have to consider if I'm like, well, is this the person I want to marry? Is this the person that I want to have children with? Because that changes everything.
How much longer can this, or how much more severe can things get or whatever? Yeah, you do have to think about those things.
Yeah, because it's like, if I had kids and Jamie has kids, and let's say I have kids, and our spouses don't get along, or whatever the situation is, I'm not gonna feel comfortable letting my kids go there, and vice versa. And then then like things like that trickle down to the kids. Like we always talk about a village and how important it is to have a village. How do you expect to have a village with people that don't like you? You want me to pick your kids up?
Kids absorb. They hear everything.
They hear everything.
At some point, they're gonna be like, "Titi said that he's a deadbeat."
Right.
You know, or
exactly.
some shit like that.
Kids hear everything, and then they start getting older, and they're like, "Well, why weren't we allowed to go with them?" What? Because your parents fight with people, or your parents don't get along with, this uncle or this aunt. So now you have one side of the family that's doing things with their kids, and they're having fun or whatever, and it's like, well, I don't like your parent. I don't even feel like contacting them to see if we can get the kids. For what? It just trickles down. Like, you think it's only the adults, but now when the kids are involved, well, now the cousins don't know each other because the parents can't get along.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I have this motherfucking fly. I have great memories of my cousins all getting together, all go to Florida, all we in New York, all we on Dominican Republic. Do I know if my parents and the sisters, do I know if they got along? I don't. Because they kept that away from us. My memory of it, yes, they all got along. Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, maybe they didn't. But they never let us feel that. They never let us see that. We all got along.
Yeah.
Now we're all grown, and now it's like, all right, everybody, todo el mundo pa su casa.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
And you contact each other if you want to. If
right.
you don't, you
now,
don't.
Right.
But since it didn't start with like bad blood, quote unquote, then it doesn't have to continue that. You never felt it, so you're not going to give it off to these people.
Exactly. So I'll read a couple of the comments from this one, because I was like, oh, I struck a chord. This one got a lot of...
It's a little spicy.
a little spice. Someone said, I did, but didn't realize it until after I was already married. So this person married into a family that didn't like her, but she didn't realize until after she was married. I found out later the basis for their dislike was pretty much jealousy, which is something that I hear a lot too. It's just weird. Why are you jealous of your cousin,
is the
uncle,
jealousy
everybody
coming from?
finding happiness and moving on? Like, I don't understand.
That doesn't make sense. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not saying her point isn't valid. I'm just saying that doesn't make sense to be jealous of someone.
Like, for what? Get your life together. Someone said depends on how strong of an influence they have over the family, or affect my significant other. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I agree with that. Damara said yes, but there would need to be lots of discussions about how our life would look like, how we would balance it all. Yeah. Again, just like to your point when you were talking about special events or Thanksgiving or whatever. Let's say, okay, now everybody's fighting. Holidays are coming up. What do the holidays look like? Yeah. It's weird. Like, you created this weird energy because you want to argue or fight or talk about things that really are probably none of your business in the first place. Right. And now it's like, well, now we don't got who's going to Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thanksgiving's canceled. It's canceled. You done canceled Christmas.
I'll mail you the kids with presents.
Now everybody's doing these small little holiday things.
We're gonna get together this day, and you guys get together that day.
Yeah, like that's not what I want. Yeah. That's not what I want. No. And someone said it depends on how much their family shows their dislike. Again, and you be cordial around me because I only got to see you probably 2-3 times a year. So I'm fine with that. So it depends on how much their family shows their dislike. I really don't care about being liked to an extent, as long as everyone is respectful, because I'm going to always be cordial and respectful. I'm always going to be cordial and respectful. But if you give me disrespect, I'm gonna give you disrespect.
Don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
Please don't.
Like that. Please don't. That is a very fine line with some of these situations. You don't have to like me. It's your loss. Right.
But you need to respect me. But you don't have to
be crazy. Don't get crazy.
Right. Like, do not take my kindness for weakness. And then someone that shall remain nameless said their family isn't part of the equation for me. I'm not marrying their family. And when I read that, I was like, let me scratch my eyebrow real quick because you're stressing me.
You're not marrying the family.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Because at the altar, it's you and that person. But you are, if their family lives within driving distance, you are 100% marrying their family.
Absolutely.
Pop-ins are real. Like, being in their life is real. So, I get the part that is very literal, but you're definitely...
And like we were saying before, off air, we were talking about it, and we were just saying women tend to be affected more by this than men, because men can just be like, whatever, the women handle it. Well, yeah, we got to handle the fact that y'all two retards don't get along, and these two don't get along, so now we got to draw a map of who can come to the kid's birthday party. Like, or, this uncle is now dropping a gift off because they know Susie Q's in there, and they don't get along with her. It's like, get over it.
And why we invite Susie Q and not the uncle? Because he's a lot more fun.
Right.
Get out of here.
And he brings beer.
To the kids 1 year old.
Yes. Well, I got the uncle that brings the Coronas. Now it's fine.
Yes. Bye, Susie.
Like, bye, Susie Q. But like, just even reading that, I thought, like, everybody knows my sister and I are tight. We are extremely close. If I was dating someone that she was like, I don't fucking like him, I don't want to be around him, that would not work for me. It wouldn't work.
And my sister, so I didn't find out till being in my current relationship that she didn't like my previous relationship. But I never paid attention to that stuff because she's younger. We had been together for so long.
And out of respect for you, she probably just kept her distance.
Right. And I think a lot of people, I found out a lot of people were doing that. Now my sister and Kyle they text each other like they're friends.
Now you see the relationship that you're like, this is probably how it should have gone before.
Right. So that just makes it so much easier, right? Because now,
it makes it fun.
She can come over whenever she wants. We can go over there. Hector and Kyle get along great. Like, everyone gets along. It just makes it so much easier. I get along with his siblings. Like, I love his siblings. I love his family. It's so much easier. And if we didn't get along, as long as we were cordial when it's birthday time, when it's Christmas time, holidays, all that stuff.
When you see them, hi, bye, kiss.
Yeah. We gotta do all these indirecta bullshits because that's old too.
Yeah,
like that takes a lot of energy to be thinking about. She probably didn't even buy her own shoes or whatever dumbass comment you want to say. He probably bought that for her.
Like,
and we're married.
How is this your problem?
Yeah.
How is what's going on in my life?
Because we're the same size and he didn't buy you these shoes. I don't know what to like.
You're weird.
It's just dumb.
Where I couldn't.
Too much energy.
Because I was like, all right, I put myself in that situation. I could not date somebody that my sister hated. If my mom hated them, I take it with a grain of salt.
If your dad hated them?
If my dad hated them, I don't think it would work.
Okay.
I don't think it would work because I feel like my dad's a really good judge of character, especially when it comes to men. And he's done his things. He is not perfect, but I do value his opinion. And I don't think he would give me that opinion if he didn't truly, truly mean it or believe it.
Yeah.
So if he took the time to say, "This is not the one for you,"
yeah,
that would hold a lot of weight in my life. Same thing for Jay. If she said, "This ain't it," it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. She has spoken. I cannot.
Jay has
spoken. This ain't gonna work.
Next
but
week.
When it works, it's beautiful. She can come over. We made Roy a fan of The Walking Dead. He's now part of the cult. Just like they made me a fan of The Office. I didn't care about The Office. Jamie's been trying to get me to watch it for years. She watches it ad nauseum. She knows verbatim episode 1 to episode 2. She could probably
turn it off and say what they're saying.
She starts to laugh before the joke comes on because she knows it's coming. But I now have an appreciation for The Office. So if she comes over and if her and Roy are here, we can watch TV. We can chill. We can pour a drink. We can play a game. We can sit and just talk shit. That's a beautiful thing. We don't. It is not safe out in these streets of Philadelphia. We can chill right in this living room where it's safe, and it feels better as opposed to, oh, my sister don't like you, so now I'm gonna go spend time with my sister over here for a couple hours, and then I'm gonna come home and spend time with you. Now I gotta split my time as if I don't got other shit to do.
Right.
I'm trying to coordinate everybody together. Like
time management skills.
Thank you.
Everybody together, please.
And nursing, we say cluster care. So I'm trying to cluster all the family and friends so we can do it on this weekend, and then
we're done.
I'm
and
good
then we don't
on
gotta
social
be social
events
for another 2 weeks. We're good.
I'm good on social events for the month.
We have 2 social events this week, and I know by like Saturday at the end of that one we're going to be exhausted because also think about like being in the pandemic. Let's take it back like a couple months where you've been in the pandemic, not being around people for so long. All you're doing is these Zoom things, and once you see people in person and like energy is real, when you feel all that, you're exhausted because you gave all this, oh my god, and the kids and the this and the that.
It's like you got to catch up. You're trying to catch up on 2 years of someone else's life and catching them up on your 2 years, depending on how crazy or not. It's a lot.
So Sunday,
linking up with people again is a lot.
It's gonna be sleep time.
Right.
2 social events this week is gonna be a lot, and they're both kid events.
Right.
So it's gonna be a lot.
You need a flask or something?
Can I borrow this cup? Did you see my glow in the dark Starbucks cup?
No.
Starbucks has a glow in the dark tall tumbler, whatever, the venti.
I need it.
And it actually glows in the dark.
I'm
gonna bring that. It's a lot more liquor.
There you go. You think it's a 24-ouncer?
Don't go to the one in the Chamonix.
We may have to revisit this question because I forgot my girlfriend wanted to. She was like, "Can you please let me answer this question on the podcast?" The answer is yes, Meta. I will still let you come answer this question on the podcast because I know you're gonna bring the spice.
She has examples.
Oh, I'm sure she has the stories and the stories.
I like stories.
We love story time here.
Because I swear, I feel so bored. Last week when we did the Bad Decisions Live, which I love that.
First of all, yes.
Yes.
Shout out to Haiti.
You guys watched it. Loved it.
We had so much fun.
She's so funny. But I was telling you, I'm like, this is going to be so boring because I don't have no life. I don't have no bad decisions. And then you reminded me, I was like, oh, I do have a story.
I used to get down.
It used to be on site.
See?
Now I'm matured.
Sure. From on site
I'm a lady.
Who is that hoe? I don't know that hoe.
I feel sorry for that man. I do not know that man.
I do not know that man. Insert Kiki Palmer.
Say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Yeah, I had a ball.
Yeah.
I'm like, we gotta do more lives like that. We need to do a live with her on a Sunday.
That would be fun.
We should do that.
Yeah. And she inspired the questions that we're gonna have.
I know.
Today or later.
Yeah. On the next episode.
On the next episode of Basic and Boujie.
Basic and Boujie. But yeah, lots of thought-provoking questions.
I
when
feel
it comes
like
to relationships.
Like, I always come down to communication is key. That sounds so corny and like overdone, but it's true. Like if you're not communicating, like you said earlier, that other person is not a mind reader, whether it's your partner or the other family or whatever. You have an issue. I think it's also healthy to address an issue so that it might be just a miscommunicated, like...
I am an overthinker. So I will create scenarios and answers to questions that I haven't even asked. Yeah. So before I
this
do
didn't
all
even
that,
happen, and I already have anxiety from the thing that I've created in my head.
Didn't fucking happen. So before I even let myself get down that rabbit hole, because I'm like, one thing that I've noticed in this relationship as opposed to my previous relationship is that I'm extremely vocal about how I feel. Because I felt like I was, and then looking back, I'm like, well, no, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was expecting
the same in this situation. Yes.
Maybe I was expecting him to be a mind reader. Maybe I should have said more of this.
You should have known. We've been together X amount of time. That doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
If that's not the right person.
Right. Now I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like the way it make me feel. No. Like now I'm way more vocal, and now I'm more open to having those uncomfortable conversations. Yeah. I don't want uncomfortable energy. So let's just nip this shit in the butt right now.
I don't like tension and the silent treatment and all that.
And I got the whose baby is that?
No.
See?
Child free by choice.
I'm gonna let that play.
I think that baby's sick. She's been crying for hours. I'm hoping that. I'm not hoping she's sick. I'm just saying I hope that it's
there's a reason.
A fever and a cough, and not like something else.
I don't know. I think we got some new neighbors, and I don't think I'm a fan yet.
It's definitely different when I come in. I can hear them.
Yeah, it wasn't like that before.
You should tell the baby to shut up.
She didn't tell that baby to shut up. Y'all tell y'all babies to shut up when they cry like that. See.
Child free by choice.
Child free by choice.
Insert the hashtag.
Insert link to that episode here.
Please watch that one. You don't understand.
Like, that's why it's our highest viewed episode.
It is. But communication
is key.
And then if it still continues to be, I think, at that toxic level, because it could get to a point where it's like, I can't deal with this. Right. Now you got to make a decision. Now the relationship has to suffer, I think.
Absolutely.
You have to make a decision at that point.
You gotta talk about it. I had more. Oh yeah, this was some, because it's like we're getting into almost an hour. But this was some of the ones from Twitter. Someone said, depending on how involved they are, I say I could, especially if my man doesn't allow them to be disrespectful and we're a team. If not, they're too comfortable talking and being foolish, and it's a no for me. I'm like, I completely agree. As long, because you're never going to be able to control somebody else's reaction. Right. You can hoot and holler and say whatever you want, but as long as it's not coming back to me,
you can only control you.
Right, I can only control my reaction. And I'm going to pay you dust. So, if you're not calling me or texting me to tell me these things, it doesn't do anything for me. Suck it up. I don't know what you want from me. Yeah. You don't got to like me, but you also don't have to disrespect me. And then somebody replied to that person and just said, I feel your answer. As long as there is no shit talking and secret combo behind my back, we could make it last forever. Keep it 100 with me. And I was like, and then I'm like, I didn't really agree with that, because I'm like, if you're talking shit behind my back, I don't care. It's not. I don't know. I don't know. Right. It's the problem is social media. Before you could talk, I could talk to you and be talking about this person over here, and it never gets out. But now I'm talking to you about it and putting it on Facebook, putting it on here, and now it's getting like, now it's just like, now this monster has grown, where before it would have just been a regular girlfriend conversation, where now it's girlfriend conversation and social media and blah 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 blah. Don't nobody got time. No. So the answer for me is yes if you decide you're not going to have kids, and no if you decide you are going to have kids.
Yeah, I guess my answer is going to be no. And luckily, I haven't had to have any issues with like not getting along. But no, I mean, I think that would make my answer even stronger. Like no, because I've had at least that good example or the luxury of being liked and getting along with them. Right. So no, it's gonna be a no for me too.
All my exes' families still love me, so I'm the prize. The end. I don't know what y'all want.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That is a wrap on this episode. Bye.